Hi, welcome to Conversations with the Queen. I'm your hostess, Veronica Paige, and this is my dear sweet friend, Leslie Lane Allen. She's come to join us tonight. She's Murfreesboro's own little dolly.
Oh, thank you.
We're so glad you're
Happy to
here.
be here.
Good. We've made a special dinner just for you.
No.
It looks yummy, right?
A little dumpling.
A little chicken and dumpling.
Yes.
Yes. And, of course, the wonderful and fabulous Mr. Mark Lamb, who helped me cook earlier in the kitchen. We're glad you're joining us tonight.
Glad to be here.
Good. We had to take our aprons off and show our shiny stuff, y'all.
Sparkle.
Sparkles make us happy. We all dig in. It's like you're sitting at dinner time and
All
I'm not
right.
getting to eat. That's awful. All right, Leslie, welcome. Tell us a little bit about who you are and why you're here, what you do here in town.
So I am a native Murfreesboroan.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up here my whole life. And actually my family has been in Murfreesboro since before the Civil War.
Oh, wow.
And so my roots run deep, right?
Uh-huh.
So, and grew up on a farm. Believe it or not, in Murfreesboro, there used to be farms.
There did used to be.
We were just a tiny little rural town.
Little bitty.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so rural, I actually lived on a rural route. Okay.
Uh-huh.
People don't even know what that is anymore. They don't know what that is. And so we had cows in the little Hereford farm where the Avenues is today.
Okay.
That was us. And now I'm the only one left,
Mm.
so I'm still here. But the town means so much to me. So it's very important to me that I still represent what it means to be from the Lane family, from the South, from Murfreesboro. And I can't tell you how proud I am that you are bringing this to the town. We've never
Now
done this.
look, I am not ready to cry at dinner.
Well,
Damn it, woman.
nobody cries alone in my presence.
That's right, girl. That's a dolly thing. I've heard that so many times. I agree that no one should cry alone. It's awful.
But I'm serious. I think that you bringing this show and inviting guests from the town, and it's great work. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I just love having people and beating people, so
Well, I love
it's
to
a
eat.
chance
This
to
is
do that,
amazing.
right? I'm sorry.
I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
Okay. So in the cooking segment,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about your Holy Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
What's yours?
Oh, gosh, that's hard. I don't know that I have one. Let me think for 2 seconds.
Okay.
So I've always been a huge fan of Dolly's. I
Mhm.
mean, she's just,
She's
with the
just-
work she does and who she is and how amazing she just loves. She's just who she is, right? And so obviously she's one of them. Reba McEntire is one, even though I've not met her or know much about her other than I've been singing her songs with her since I was 13 years old at Boy Scout camp.
Because you felt fancy.
I
Fancy was
did
there
feel
with you.
fancy,
Mhm.
yes. And it wasn't even her big songs that I loved. It was the ones that didn't make it quite to the radio that
Right.
were still so like powerful and moving. I don't, and it's kind of corny, and I hate to even admit it, but my grandmother is one of my Holy Trinity
No, that's not
because
funny.
she is sweet as pie, and she is like just genuinely a kind, loving, caring, accepting person. I don't know. That's kind of who I want to be when I grow up. Yes, Mark, and you've told us yours.
Yeah.
So Leslie, who is your Trinity?
Well, obviously Dolly.
Obviously.
Suzanne Sugarbaker.
Yes.
Well,
Come
Didn't
on.
even think of that one.
yeah.
And Botox.
And Botox, yes, honey.
That's the three.
I
Can't live
love
without
it.
them.
Can't live without
They
them.
are literally who I am as a person.
I love it.
So can you all sum up like what Dolly Parton means to you in a sentence or two?
I don't know that I can do it in
No,
a sentence
probably
or
not.
two.
No.
I will tell you, however, I've always loved her, always. But I remember back in the 80s when she put out A Smoky Mountain Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Okay? I still love that movie. I still watch it almost every Christmas because I just love it so much. And all the songs. But Hard Candy Christmas.
Come on.
Lord have
I
mercy.
can belt that out with no talent like there is no tomorrow.
We are on camera.
Okay.
Just remember that.
Okay.
Okay? If you belt it out, it will go next.
Everybody's going to know. Everybody's going to know.
Everybody will know. I'm not upset about it if you do.
I want to be famous for butchering a Dolly. That's not why I want to go viral. That's not it.
Here's a fun fact about Hard Candy Christmas, because I'm a Dolly apologist. Anything you want to know about Dolly?
Okay.
So when she recorded Hard Candy Christmas for Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Oh, God, another great one.
She was bigger then, and the lyric she wrote was, "Maybe I'll lose some weight."
Mm-hmm.
And then she recorded again at the Opryland Hotel, and it was during the 80s when she lost a lot of weight. And she changed the line to, "Maybe I'll gain some weight." Just a fun little fact.
That's a fun little saucy fact. Thank you, Mark.
Love who you are. You know, I think that I can't sum anything up in a minute or a sentence or two. Not anything, not Dolly, not anything. I talk too much.
I love that.
It's who I am as a person. But growing up in the South and growing up in what used to be a rural area and on a farm, and you couldn't see, where we lived, there was no Thompson Lane. There was no, high-rise apartments, and that just didn't exist. And I think there was an option. There were a couple of options for growing up a Southern lady, if you will. So you could be agricultural. You could do 4-H and you could show cattle, and we did that. We for sure did. Or you could be a debutante. And those were kind of, and maybe I'm oversimplifying, but that was kind of my child's self saw that, and I was a debutante. Okay, I was a debutante. I was. But that wasn't the role that I saw. And my mother had a Dolly Parton album, the greatest hits album, kids.
The vinyl.
Right, not just things you hang on the wall, look cool,
Right.
but like you could actually play them and music would come out.
Mm-hmm.
And it unfolded.
Oh.
So there were pictures on this side, and there were pictures on this side, and of course she's on the front, and of course she's on the back. And I would listen to these albums, and I would stare at her. And she was glamorous. That didn't exist in Murfreesboro, Tennessee in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a thing that we had. And she was rhinestones, and she was hair, and she was from a poor Southern family, and she, kind of grew up into this thing, and she was sequins, and she was dresses, and she was glamorous, and she was everything that I wanted to be. And I didn't see that represented anywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like a marginalized person. Clearly, I'm not. Clearly, I don't have the same struggle as somebody who is, has been marginalized their whole life. But I do know what it means to not see myself in my community, and to think that that's okay. My God, when I was 6 years old, I wanted to be a Vegas showgirl.
Right.
I wanted the glitter, and I wanted the headdress, and I didn't know what Vegas showgirl meant. I just know that they got to wear cute things and leotards, and that's what I wanted to be too.
I
So
want
she
those things too, but go ahead.
Was this thing, and she was hair pieces, and she was blonde like I was, and she was a little girl from Tennessee, and she, so she embodied this thing, and I followed it forever. And we talked earlier about how, like, I don't know that I could meet her. I don't know that I could, because she's the vision of that. She was this thing. And what's so funny is I thought nobody else knew her. Like, it's not like my friends growing up in school talked about Dolly Parton. It was the new kids on the block. That's how old I am. It was, we went through hair metal together. We went through Nirvana together. We went through Beverly Hills 90210 together. We didn't go through Dolly together. I thought she was mine. She's mine. So she's this thing that I hold on to. So yeah. So I don't know everything. I don't know all her music. I don't know all of her history. I don't know that I want to know. I just know that when I was a kid in Tennessee, and a little blonde girl from the South, and was surrounded by cattle and hay and feed, this was an option. Please cut me off when I start talking too much. But there was, and I'll share this and then I'll stop. Okay. This is when I realized that I wasn't the only one that knew her. Like, that it wasn't just me. I was watching this episode of Oprah, one of your Holy Trinity.
I love that, by the way.
And Shania Twain was on.
That's a great episode.
And they were doing the Make Your Dreams Come True, she had a whole season of that, of making dreams come true. That's what it was. And Shania was going to sing with Dolly Parton. And that was her dream. And so they're talking about that on the show, and Shania says, "It's times like this that I wish my mother were here." And she got all choked up, and now she's crying, and I'm crying, because I get it. I get what she means by that. So can you imagine, like, being a child and losing your mother, and the moment you want her there is when you get to sing with Dolly Parton. Like, I get it.
That's amazing.
Great.
Yeah.
But yes, and I think, in a time before internet where you could just Google image anything in the world, like those pictures, you would just stare at them. You'd stare at them forever, and she's a lot to stare at.
Right.
I mean,
right.
let's get real. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're
As is our host.
Yes.
Whoa.
good. Y'all are so sweet. I'm just a mess.
For me, I'm older than you all, so when she had her first TV show, she would come down out of the ceiling on this swing.
As one does.
And she would, and there'd be this deep voice that would say, "Ladies and gentlemen, Dolly Parton." So I thought it was kind of like God.
Whoa.
And she came out of the ceiling. She descended on this red velvet rope swing, and there'd be these butterfly, like mesh butterflies in the backs, and her name spelled out in silver, Dolly, and she'd come off the swing and sing, and I thought she was an angel, because I grew up in a tiny coal mining town, farming town in Kentucky, and so that kind of sparkle, I thought she was angelic. And I had brothers that liked rock and roll, and my parents didn't like country music. But to me, her songs, they had all these messages about love and kindness and acceptance. And so when I saw her, it gave me this peace and comfort. And she was so different, and I felt so different that I related to her. And it gave me... inspired me just to be myself.
We're talking about her messages of hope and kindness and love. But she says that she's not a feminist and it gets angry about that. But my favorite song of hers, well, one of them, let's just see if I can, but is Two Doors Down.
Yes.
And it's just the cutest little upbeat song until you start listening to it. And the message is, she goes to the party.
Yeah.
So she has a party until she meets a man.
Yeah.
The party's 2 doors down, so she went down to the party, and then she brought the man back. And now we are 2 doors down, and we're feeling everything but sorry.
Yeah.
And that song's out in a time where that wasn't okay. It wasn't okay for a woman to just throw her sexuality out there and to have casual sex and to be like, this is just something I want to do, and I get to do it, and, we're not sorry about it.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
dang, girl, people today don't do that.
Yeah.
It was such a brave move, and then you wrap it in this little pop song and just feed it into an album. And everybody everywhere is just 2 doors down, like not even thinking about what she's talking about. This is her one night stand moment, and she's proud of it. She wrote a whole song about it.
Right.
Good for
Wrote a
you.
song about it, want to hear? Here, good.
Right. I know there are a lot of Dolly impersonators, especially in the drag world. But I think that my, kind of fascination with her was also why I love drag so much. The first time I went to a drag show, I wasn't old enough to go in, but it was The Connection in Nashville, and I love oh gosh, I can bring The
Miss it
Connection
so
back.
much. I know.
Talk about glamorous and wonderful and beautiful and all the things. And then to see, these drag queens come out, Miss Veronica Paige that we've talked about before and how meaningful she was. And they are also larger than life. And they are also hair and makeup and jewelry and everything.
And decidedly who they want to be.
Are. Yes.
I mean, Dolly says, I'm a cartoon character that I drew myself.
100%.
Yeah, and that's, in the gay community, the drag queens are the ones that made the Stonewall Riot happen. No, I'm going to cry.
It's okay, go ahead.
I'm going to cry.
We'll cry with you.
We stand on a lot of drag queen shoulders. The queer movement does, and Dolly, she's like Yeah, I'm the girl next door if you grew up next to an amusement park.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
she says that she's a drag queen herself,
Yeah.
and she embraces being larger than life and being artificial on the outside, but very real on the inside. And I've always felt that with drag queens that I know. They are in your face who they are. And all the stuff,
Right.
it just brings it out, I think.
Well, I mean, for me, I do this because I want to bring awareness to the community around us. It's just who I am, I guess. I like to do things, I guess. But yes, it's our armor and it's our shield so that we're able to go out and be loud and be a voice for people who may not have a voice, right?
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it. And luckily, I've got the shoulders to hold that, But I have a friend who tells me all the time that Veronica doesn't come out until her earrings go on.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And it's funny, she's right. I've done a show not long ago, and I didn't have earrings with me, which is a sin. I thought that is a sin. My grandmother would shoot me if she knew I didn't have my earrings on when I left the house, But I didn't feel like myself the whole entire time that I was doing the show that I was doing. And I was like, man, what is wrong with me tonight? Got home, I couldn't figure it out. And finally I saw it, and I was like, oh, there's not any earrings on my head. I can't be me without those.
Right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
No, I totally get it. And I think that I think I made that same. She embodies what it means to. You don't have to be the person that you're supposed to be. I guess you can, clip in your hair extensions and glue on some fingernails, and you can, nip it, tuck it, suck it, get it where it needs to go. Hello. And be the person you can create you.
Yeah.
And I think that she created her. And when you are at the show and you see these performers and these wonderful people, and they have created and this character, but they are this person too. It's not this is disingenuous. This is absolutely real. And I just thought, I want to be a drag queen too. I am.
You are.
I was born a drag queen.
Yes.
I just didn't know what that was. And then even to see, when I went to the first show that I went to with you, I didn't know that drag king was a thing. That wasn't a thing back when I was hitting the club. They didn't have those at the shoot. And and I called, I told you I called my sister. I was like, is this okay? Can they do this?
Can they do this?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I had never seen that. And, and then she's like, yes, this is a thing. And I was like, look at your own community breaking stereotypes. Yes, we can. Yes, this is okay. Yes, this is something that we can do. And not that stems from Dolly Parton, but to me, I think that you can make an absolute connection from be who you want to be, even if you have to glue it on, and go out and don't be ashamed of that. And the fact that you keep bringing that message to everyone that will listen to you in this little town, I think is unbelievable.
Thank you. So Mark made us a delicious looking pie, which I'm ready to. It was also very
Look how
bougie. Do you
beautiful.
see the little leaves?
The little leaves in there?
I mean,
That's art.
that
is art.
That was the process. It was.
Yeah.
And now that I know how to do it, I'm going to do it.
Do
That's what I'm
it.
saying.
Yeah.
And
So
now,
Mark, what does pecan pie mean to you?
Well, I'm from Kentucky, and in our county there are pecan trees around. My brother has a pecan tree in his yard. So people collect pecans, and now I live in New York City, and pecans are hard to come by. They're not as plentiful. So anyway, I love the pecan pie, and adding the local bourbon means a lot to me. And it's something my mom always made. We always had pecan pie around for special occasions. So I love the pecan pie.
so it's pecan, not pecan?
Right. It's pecan.
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 Well, guys, this has been so much fun sitting here and enjoying dinner and talking and this pie. Dear Lord, I cannot wait to get off camera so I can actually eat it. I might lick the plate tonight. I'm not going to lie about it.
I'll take pictures.
Thank you. Don't post them anywhere, please. She's got an image. It's not a good one, but we don't need that out there either.
Well.
Oink, oink. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it.
I hope y'all had fun.
I love it so much.
I love it.
It was
Hope
awesome.
you enjoyed
Thank
yourself.
you.
And y'all, as always, remember to have courage and be kind. Good night, y'all.